Oh my gosh, we are live streaming, guys. Let's are you live, Matt? You
We're
live there?
actually live.
We are
Is this
live.
thing on? Can you hear me? Hello? Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
I'm alive. I know I'm alive.
We are live and kicking. Let's roll the intro. Oh my gosh, it's another week of the ride along here. I'm excited because we've got a freaking awesome guest on the show here. Another guy out of Texas. We've been featuring a lot of Texas guys lately. That's because Texas is one of the most inspector rich populations in the country, and we got some absolutely awesome people out of there. But Matt, why don't you introduce our guest, since you guys are basically neighbors, as you put it here before we kicked off the show?
Yeah, we are. I mean, like we don't live in the same neighborhood, but like I was saying before we started the show here, Houston is an hour away from Houston. So if you are, an hour away from me, you might as well be my neighbor, is what I'm saying. And Trey is my neighbor. And
Yeah.
so yeah, we are my good friend Trey Hill here from Gold Star Inspections is our guest today. And really, really happy to have you here, Trey. And I can't wait to get into some of these topics with you today, including social media and the challenges we face as home inspectors trying to create content out there. What part of Houston area are you from again, Trey?
I'm in Tomball.
All right. That's what I thought. Over in Tomball, and I'm in Springs. So it's like we're close, but we're not that close, but we're close.
Well, close.
But
But if
not
I
only
had an inspection at his house, that would be close to me. I'd be
Yeah.
like, yeah.
so, I mean, do you guys like refer each other out? Like if one of y'all is busy or
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
good stuff. I dig it.
Absolutely. Well, Trey, I mean, something interesting about Trey, and I mean, if you guys don't follow Gold Star Inspections, I mean, you certainly should do that. But Trey has a massive social media presence and a massive following, and he gets predominantly all your business from there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
So
of it come from there.
so he gets all, and so I know a couple years ago you started doing primarily new construction inspections. That's it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so people, of course, call Trey and they're like, hey, I got this house from 1978. And he's like, nope, I only do new construction stuff. And he goes, oh, Matt. And so he gets some inspectors from Gold Star for that.
All
But
right.
you're nothing him whenever I can't make it as well.
Oh yeah.
I love it. So just another guy. First of all y'all listening live online, we're recording this as we go here. Usually my dog is pretty freaking chill, but he hasn't gotten to run around with a frisbee tonight yet, and so he's decided this is a wonderful time to just squeak that toy like crazy in the background. So
Dogs will be dogs. That's for
dogs
sure.
gonna be dogs. Yeah, you guys
Dogs are
got
dogs.
dogs? Sound
I
off
do.
in the comments if y'all got dogs. That's it. But Trey, I got to ask you a question, man. So how long have you been doing the social media game? Because it never ceases to amaze me that home inspections and home inspectors have taken off as influencers the way that they have the last several years. So how long have you been doing this?
Right. I would say about 3 years. To be honest, Matt don't even know this how it all started. Um, I used to do so. I've been doing inspections over 10 years, and the whole thing was to go into the real estate offices, the broker offices. Go in there, you buy food. I know I have some videos talking about this, but so you buy them food. They tell you 50 people coming, and then 10 people show up.
Yeah.
You done bought food for 50 people, and 10 people show up, and then they say, okay, you got 10 minutes to talk to say something. So then you do your spiel, and then one agent or two maybe say they'll try you out. And then what do they give you? A bad house, of course. So you get that bad house, and then you be like, shh. And they be like, I ain't using that guy. That guy, he put everything on the report. So, so actually, during that time, I saw an interview with Matt and Triple A Action.
Yeah, Chris.
A Action and with Chris. So I used to look at some of their videos, and actually before that time, I was not on social media at all. Only thing I did was YouTube.
Okay.
That's it. And it just was when I was looking for stuff or watch videos. So the whole people like the social media thing, Instagram, all that kind of stuff. I didn't have the app. I didn't go on it. I didn't look at none of that. So I was not involved. Period. So after I saw that episode, and Matt said on there, he's like, I haven't done a lunch and learn in like 2 years. I was like, 2 years, no lunch and learn? I was like, we're gonna have to try this. So
It's true.
I think at the time he had like 43,000 followers, and now look at him. But that was big, you know. It's just as you in it, you just start growing or whatever. But I was like, wow,
Sure.
you know, that was a big deal. So actually, so that's where after I saw that, that's when I actually started. Because before then, like during COVID and stuff like that, like trying to get business, you walk around with the mask on and stuff. I tried all that kind of stuff. Had the little gift bags, and you know, showed the people open houses and stuff like that. And some of them got scared. I mean, I knocked on the door, had a mask on. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, I was already kind of, and social media, I guess, kicked off for me a little bit, like right as COVID hit, and so I was kind of already like had a foothold, and right as soon as I could not, and I continued to advertise in real estate offices really just because I enjoyed it, and you
Right,
know, actually where I found was better than real estate offices was going to Champion School of Real Estate. See, I got my license, or I took my training through Champion School of Real Estate, and they have classes for real estate agents. Well, what you can guarantee there is attendance. And then you get attendance from people that are from various different offices. So you're kind of getting a little bit of you know, you're getting your feelers out there in different real estate offices, even though, you know, not, you know, just with who's there. It's a variety of different people.
right.
How can that be more successful? And I
I
really enjoy doing that.
Yeah, I was just about to get into that where I was setting it up where I was going to do some lunch and learns up there. But I had my cars up there and stuff. Like, really now, like this whole time, I got like 5 good realtors that actually use me all the time. And all the realtors I've seen, 5 of them that, and even right now, I'll try to clear my schedule to get to them. You know, they was faithful. You know what I mean? But
You got to
some of
keep
them
those
I
ones
got
happy.
from, yeah, I got from Champions, and that's the school I went to also.
Yeah, I found that doing that was very effective, but then all of a sudden COVID hit and I couldn't do that anymore. And
Mhm.
so I said, well, okay, well, I didn't really need to because I mean, I had at the time I had a really good like solid base of realtors. I was just marketing because I felt like I needed to market, you know, as a
Hey,
business. And but I already kind of had a foothold in social media, so I just kind of kept going there. And man, yeah, it's been years now. It's been like 5 years since I've done anything like that.
oh yeah.
And so yeah, it's I mean time flies, but yeah, that's how long it's been. But
Once
social
you
media has been a you know a big you know thing for me as well as far as like how I get my business, and that's been going on you know for a real long time. Yeah, it's realtor referrals. Yes, it's word of mouth, but social media has been really huge. But you know as and you I mean you know yeah I've been able to you know work myself into a pretty large following, but you have a massive following. You just hit the ground running, man, and your content just really connects with people. People really relate to it, and you have you know amassed a huge following, and you should be really proud of that, man. But as you know, content creating home inspectors, I feel like you know a topic that we should touch on is some of the unique challenges we face making this content in the field all the time. There's always something. And so, do you have any? Are there any unique challenges that you think like you have to deal with? You know, that maybe you know somebody that's not out there creating content, something that just a certain extra step or something else that you got to do.
Well, let me take it back just a little bit because so me not being on social media, not on them platforms, and you know, I just thought to myself, I said, man, who wants to hear about home inspections? Like that's boring. That's what I thought to myself. But then, you know, Matt was doing like well, somebody out there want to hear about it. So my thought was, how can I make it educational but also entertaining? Because my thought, like I said, I never been on those platforms. I never been on TikTok. Like I downloaded TikTok and did a video. So my thought was these people on here for entertainment. They ain't out here trying to learn. They're not swiping trying to learn. So my whole thing was trying to combine both of those things together. So during home inspection, that was kind of a challenge right there. That was the first challenge because I got my first video up there, and you look at it, it's terrible.
I still got mine up there too. It's bad, bad, bad. Yeah.
It's
did you start it off
terrible.
with the good old hey, it's Trey here,
Oh
Gold
yeah,
Star
you do all of
Inspection?
that. Hey, my name
Yeah.
is Trey. I'm about to do this home inspection back. Y'all want to look and see what we gonna find?
Immediately
Yeah,
swipe
yeah,
out.
yeah,
That's
like
it. Yeah. That's
your real nice guy thing going on,
Yes.
man. Yeah, like, man,
Uh,
it's so funny. We should go back and watch those, or
oh
maybe
yeah, they
honestly we shouldn't. But it is really funny because
painful.
there in the beginning, you're like trying to, you don't really know what to do, and then you start to get your flow, a little bit in, and then it changes completely. You go back and look at that old stuff, you're like, oh my god.
Well,
Right.
the thing is,
Yeah,
that was actually, I mean, that was kind of taught back then. I mean, like back in like the Facebook videos days, there were so many inspectors and other influencers that you put your name, your brand, like you had your little opening spiel that you would do at the beginning of every video, or like you filmed,
Mhm.
landscape because vertical video wasn't even a thing yet.
Oh yeah.
I used to do the show Inspection Connection with Rose Buckley, and she would always start all of her videos, hey, Rose Buckley here, your friendly Maryland home inspector up and it's like, but now that's just, it does
yeah,
not
cut that
fly.
out. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. If they still there at the end, say it at the end.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it.
But like right when you start, me, I'm like, let's get straight to it. And
Now,
you
how did you develop your flow? Like what's your normal, I guess your hook, your structure to your videos? Do you have a formula that you use, or do you just kind of let it rip?
nah, I kind of let it rip. Here's a gem that I do. As I'm doing my okay, first of all, like Matt, no, we busy doing a home inspection, and you got to get. I mean, you can't spend a whole lot of time taking retakes and stuff like that. So you inspecting, and then you find something, and you do a video or whatever. So, anyways, your time is tight. Period. I'm a home inspector first, so I'm
yep,
putting more time into home inspection and finding things, and so that's my most time. Period. So what I do is when I'm doing the home inspections and I find something, if it's big or small or whatever, I might keep on going and think in my head, like come up with some ideas as I'm working, and so therefore when I shoot the video, I got something that I'm working on, or some kind of topic or way of because it's like you're talking about videos. It's like a director. How we gonna shoot it? What we gonna talk about? All the script, all this kind of stuff got to be right here in this compact video, and you got to. And then you don't have time to do no retakes. Like I'm not doing retake, and I actually learned like my first one is the best one anyways.
always, always.
So just keep going. So that's kind of my process. I kind of think of something, and then the ones that you really think about later, like for a while, you think about and you put more work into it. Those don't do good. So
Right.
the ones off the cuff that you think about while you're there and put it out, then yeah, it works.
I think that's, I mean, I love what you said, like how, it's home inspection first. I mean, that's the deal because a lot of people, they get the vision clouded here. I mean, because to be quite honest, there's things that go in my videos sometimes that don't go in my reports. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not like smoke and mirrors. I'm not trying to tell people, this is, sometimes I find something that may not be in my scope of work,
Mhm.
but I think it is interesting enough to make a video on.
Right.
And so people get confused though, because they literally think my job is what's out there on the internet. And it's like, that's actually couldn't be further from the truth. Like my work and my inspection report, I mean, hundreds of pictures, I mean, tons and tons and tons of comments, a lot of, and it takes a while to put this together.
Right.
There's a lot of information that goes in there. It's not just making a little video or whatever. So those are two really different things. But I do find like for me, and we've talked about this a little bit, Trey, but like one of the challenges for me, because I mean, you have to stay because we're both right because yeah, it's inspection first,
Hmm.
we are content creators, and so we have to, that we have to, and I want to get into the demand on that too, but like we have to meet that too. We need to keep creating this content. And
Oh yeah.
so like we have to keep our mind focused on like inspection first and then video because I have 100% been guilty of walking up finding something. Usually it's the really good like funny stuff too,
Hmm.
and I'll be like, "Oh, that's amazing." And I'll pull out my phone and I'll video it right away. And then later on when I'm, doing my report, I'm like, "Oh, shoot, that didn't make it to the report."
Right.
And I've literally taken screenshots from my phone before because I'm
Man,
like, man, and it makes you think like, oh man, I never want to miss anything because
right,
I'm
right.
filming a video, and so I
Yeah.
have to stay focused
Yeah.
to like go inspection first. That's a challenge
Oh
because
yeah.
we're trying to like in order to keep up with the demand, which is another challenge. Like we're filming stuff daily.
Oh yeah.
We're
Yeah.
making. I mean, not all of it works, but we're filming stuff daily.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Trey, I want to hear about your workflow. Let's jump right into that next. But before we do, we got to do our drink of the day segment, sponsored by
Do we?
Inspection Fuel. We
Oh,
do
that's
sponsored by Inspection Fuel because we got to
that's
sneak that little
right.
bit in
That's
there.
right.
We got to pay the bills here. And so go sign up for Inspection Fuel September 8th through the 10th. It's in New Orleans. It's going to be at the Marriott there, I believe. But go to inspectionfuel.com/register to sign up. Matt, what you sipping on?
Nope, I'm not going first on this one. You guys start.
All right. Yeah, Trey, this is a little tradition that we do. Just whatever we have to be sipping on during the show.
uh-huh.
What have you got?
I actually got some sparkling water. So
Perfect.
What kind of sparkling water?
this is Kirtland. It's Costco.
He is a
So
Costco man.
Right on, right
yeah,
on.
Dude.
first time I tried it, I was like, that's nasty. Then I made it cold. I was like, I can do that.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
get used to it. Sparkling water's you gotta
Yeah.
kind of get used to it. But once you do, I think you kind of crave it. I do.
And
Right.
dude,
Right.
Costco gas, when you drive as much as we do as inspectors, it saves you so much money, man.
That's the only gas I go. I was like, man.
Yeah.
Never done that.
Do it, man. I honestly, it's like that's a
Oh,
life hack.
Kroger gas. I got
Oh,
discount there. So
There you go. Yeah, no, it's in Florida, it's like 30 cents a gallon cheaper than normal pump gas.
yeah. Maybe Costco gives some money for shouting them out right now.
There you go. I like the way you're thinking. I am sipping on I'm boring tonight. I got a little protein shake. Been trying to be more consistent on staying healthy. This was gosh, I had a conversation. There's a video on this. I think it's on the YouTube channel. It's way back a year and a half ago. But I was talking with Wally Conway, where he was talking about just the importance of prioritizing your own health when you get, especially when you get to the crazy season that you're in. I have an inspector, agent that I did inspections for back in Virginia. She's down here in Florida now too. She sent me a video. I posted this up on my inspection dude Instagram. Uh, she was like, "Hey, check this out. This is the first inspection we ever did together." And Lord Almighty, was I just depressed, out of shape. Everything was a meal out of the bag because I was doing 3 inspections a day,
Yeah.
10 to 12 inspections a week, and just not taking care of myself at all. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh man, I got just looking in the mirror. I've never been like a gym selfie guy. That's not how I roll. But at the same time, I was like, dude, I am pleased with a little bit of the progress made there. So I've been staying after it. So I snuck into the gym before we started recording here tonight. So
That's
take care
good.
of yourselves, y'all.
Oh yeah.
Do it. What you sipping on, Matt?
well, inspection fuel. It's okay. I got you. I know. I know what's going on here, but you guys are sponsoring the drink of the day, right? And so I got you. I am also drinking a sparkling water. This is a Waterloo Black
Yeah.
Cherry, but that's just a
This is the
side.
healthy episode.
That's just a sidecar, right? So here's what I got. This right here is what we call an infinity bottle. Anybody know
Oh,
what an infinity bottle is? So what an infinity bottle is, I got my glass right here. I take the last little bit of bourbon bottles that I have and I pour it in my infinity bottle. And so it makes my own little ever changing custom blend of bourbon.
dude, I need it. Is it just like just a decanter that you use, like a standard? Okay, I love it. I got to get in on that. All right, hey,
Here, inspection fuel, September
8th through the 10th.
8th through the 10th.
There you go. Cheers,
Where you
guys.
going?
New
Let us
Orleans.
know. Yeah, let us know what you're sipping on in the comments. Let us know what's in your infinity bottle. But back to it, dude. Trey, what is your inspection process like that allows you to, be thorough on the job and also crank out content at the same time the way that you do?
I mean, I just kind of like I said, I've been doing it like 10 years, so I have my process of how I inspect and what I'm used to putting on report and things like that. So a rule now as far as content and inspection is put in a report first. And that's my rule. And after Matt knows, you see so many houses, stuff just So even when I walk in the house and if I'm turning on lights and stuff like that, if I see something, I go ahead and put in a report because my mind says we already saw that, and keeps going once I get to that part. So that's what I do with the videos. I put in a report first, and then I'll shoot the video. So make sure I got what I need to get first. So
That's brilliant, man. Now, do you bring people around with you while you're doing the inspection, or do you do your inspection first and then do the summary walkthrough, kind of?
yeah, I like the summary walkthrough because again, after years of doing this, you find I'm that inspector that I went to a house I did yesterday today because I forgot something and realized it. I was like, let me go back. So I'm that inspector. Like, if I miss something, I'm gonna go back and check it and make sure it's working. So when people come and start talking and things like that, it can mess up your routine and you can forget that you didn't do certain things. And then when you start working that report, that's when you find out, oh man. So I'm a fan of people coming to the close to the end, and that way I've done my process, and then I can walk them through and show them things that I found.
Yeah, I very much am the same way. Brad does things a little bit differently. I think that, obviously it works for some people to have people walk. I think it might be a certain personality thing. I think Trey and I maybe share that same, personality trait where it's like, we really need to stay focused because we can get distracted.
Right.
I think the real important thing to think about there is realizing that you have that personality trait, right? Because if I just say, "Yeah, come on to the inspection," like I'm actually doing, I at least I feel like I could be doing the client a disservice because I feel like I am putting myself into a position where I can easily get distracted. It has happened before,
Oh
not
yeah.
on purpose, but it has happened before. And let me
Right.
tell you, man, I'm that inspector too. Like I don't sleep good if I don't feel like I've done a great job.
Right.
You know,
Right.
Brad, you take people around with you, don't you?
I do, yeah. I mean, I've touched on this in past episodes, so I don't want to be too redundant about it. For me, it was a product of where I was in Virginia and Washington D.C., and there were some content creators up there in that neck of the woods. But back during COVID, we were talking about y'all were talking about not being able to get in offices and market as much. The whole real estate market up there was popping so much that I didn't have to market either. People were looking for an inspector to come do something in 30 minutes. It was things were real estate was flying off the shelf. Inventory was almost non-existent because it was cash buyer competitions. It just going as fast as it came available. So you had to, at least with Ken Humphreys, my area manager that I used to work with back at BPG, he kind of trained me on a methodology where you try to get as much done in 2 to 2.5 hours as possible. And the best way to do that and kind of honor everybody's time, since everybody had someplace else to be in the DC area, is just to have them come along with you. And the benefit there, if you're able to kind of walk and talk, is that you've got multiple sets of eyes. And this actually this happened at the home inspection that I had last Monday. I had a couple, and there was one thing I was explaining it, and I was taking a picture of one thing over here, and on my ISN report writer app, nice little plug there.
Yeah,
And
that's fun.
the buyer went, "Hey, did you see this right here?" And it was a product of like I just hadn't turned around to see it yet, but I'm glad that he saw it because I'm like it's just kind of two sets of eyes, and it also allows me to diffuse situations as they come up. So when I look and notice a defect and point out a problem, I can kind of give them the lowdown on the good, the bad, and the ugly, or how fixable and repairable it is. So they're not just scared crapless on a 30-minute walkthrough, like, oh my gosh, this is an overwhelming amount of things wrong. As I'm going around, I'm pointing out things that are right too. So they feel very invested in it. But the downside is if you want to create content, you can't because it's awkward, right? Like, hey guys, hold on, I got to film a TikTok, right? You can't really do that. But so it's you're limited in what you're able to do, but it's just a very different approach. And I've thought about going back since it's a little bit slower pace down here in Florida. I've thought about going back to kind of exactly what y'all do. So
So I don't think we can get through this episode without talking about Trey's tagline.
Hear it.
You don't know
I'm telling you,
that ain't
man.
right.
I'm sorry for
That ain't
not
right.
being
That
educated.
ain't right.
Know my tagline. That ain't right. This ain't right. That's the tagline.
That ain't right. That's actually it.
I love it, man.
That's
So
it.
we got that's not supposed to do that, and that ain't right on this
That's
show.
right. That's
There
right.
you go.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we got that. It's not supposed to do that.
And
Yeah.
that ain't right.
Both
Now,
in
have
one
you gotten
episode.
one of those because Spectre Randall's doing this now, the little pointy hands? Have you gotten yourself one of
Yeah,
those yet?
man. Me and Trey talked about that a couple days ago. Man, I love it. I love
Yeah.
it. I mean, I don't anticipate buying one. Okay, I'm not gonna hop on that. I'm gonna let
Everybody's
those
doing it now.
guys have that. We got a few of them out there doing it now. Enough of them out there doing it now.
Right.
But I tell you what, man, that was a real genius thing that he did there, man.
Oh
Great.
yeah.
I think that was genius.
It was
Um,
great.
I'm not gonna order one. I just
No, it was. I mean, I love it though. I mean, I honestly, I watch it every time it comes up. I can't get enough of it.
it's
But
so
I'm not.
creative. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
really good.
But Trey, when did you notice your videos starting to pop off? And what was a kind of a change or a tweak that you made that really kind of helped to lead to that?
So fortunately for me, TikTok hopped up quicker than all the other ones. So like when I first started, I was doing everything, and then TikTok kind of went crazy, and so my focus went to what was going crazy, you know. So I started doing more TikTok. But um, my first video was my first That Ain't Right video, and I did a house. It was a phase 2. Them people didn't buy that house. Anyway, it was a phase 2 house, and just the builder. It was just a lot of stuff just bad. Like the house wasn't even ready, you know, dirty and stuff like that. Windows broken, just everything just bad. And so that was my first one doing it. That Ain't Right, and that one just blew up. And so after that, I knew that well, shoot, I gotta hit it. That ain't right. That ain't right. Every video after that was That Ain't Right because I needed to make sure people know my.
Trademark that thing. Yeah.
Oh yeah, just like the hand thing, you know.
Yeah.
Yep.
Everybody can do that, you know what I mean? So, and of course, people did try to take it. So, but at that time, I had such a following, or people fighting for me and saying, you know, no, you taking his stuff, you know.
That's
That's
actually how me and Trey met.
Uh,
Oh yeah.
That's actually how I met Trey, was by his loyal following. So one day, you know, and I got, man, my it's not supposed to do that stuff, man. And look, we might have talked about this before, but like as a content creator, I find that I don't have a whole lot of time to consume content, you know, and so I actually go out of my way to try to do that now. But I mean, I know back in those days I wasn't at all because I was busy working and creating, and that was it, you know. Like I have to make time for it now.
Right.
But yeah, I wasn't really consuming any content, so I didn't really follow people, or I just kind of did my own thing out there, you know.
Right.
And what I was doing, what I did instead of consuming content was I focused on did something that Trey doesn't do at all. Hey,
Black.
we got to re-record, start it over.
That ain't right.
That ain't right.
Well, that's mama. That's mama. Yeah.
So yeah, so what where was I? We were talking about
Taglines and how you guys met.
yeah, how we met. So what I did instead of consuming content was I kept up with all of my comments, which we should talk about. Trey doesn't do that, but I was keeping up with comments. I was replying to people. I was pushing engagement and all that stuff. All the things they encourage you to do. I was doing all that, and so this guy pops off and he's like telling me how much I've ripped off Trey. Like he's just like I can't read. He said something ugly to me, and he said you're just copying Gold Star Inspections. He called me a copycat, all this stuff. I said, hey, bro, I'm sorry, but I don't know who you're talking about. Like I don't know what's going on, and I was kind of sarcastic to him because I was like, hey, if you want to defend Gold Star Inspections, whoever that is, so much, why don't you be nice and tag them in this? You know, because I had a large account at the time. I was like, if you tag them, people will see it. You know. But
Yeah.
instead, you're just saying this, and no one even knows. I can't even go to the guy's page.
Mhm.
Well, me and the guy went back and forth several times, and then he finally told me, he's like, "Yeah, he's bigger on TikTok." I was like, "Oh, I don't even have TikTok."
Mhm.
I go, "Okay, all right." And so then he finally, I think he ended up emailing me or something, some way to find you. And so I did. I found it. Hell, I looked up Trey, and I was like, "We're in the same city."
Mhm.
we're we're in the same city. I was like, this guy's got to be a great guy. So I looked through his content. He was creating some awesome content, and so I called him up. His number was right there. I called him up. He answers the phone. Gold Star Inspections. I said, yeah, this is Matt with Texas Edge Home Inspections. I was hoping I could talk to Trey or something like that. And he goes, yeah, I'm on a job. Can I call you? Wait, who is this? I said, this is Matt with Texas Edge. And he was like,
I've heard of you.
he was like, I watch your stuff. And then, I mean, that's it, man. We've been friends
Yeah.
ever since, basically.
Yeah, and kudos to Matt, calling me, calling me and doing that. Some people don't do that, but yeah, I was like, man, what's up, man? What's going on?
I love it.
Like I watch your stuff all the time.
Yeah. It was cool. I mean, like, because people even still today try to put us against each other,
Right, right.
I feed into it. Dre doesn't at all, but which I commend you for that. But I mean, this dude, you know, he does. He marches to the beat of his own drum, man. I mean, he puts out this content, pretty much posts and goes. You don't really talk to nobody on there, do you? He doesn't engage
See,
with anybody.
the deal
Nope.
is, and in the beginning though, so in the beginning, and also on the other side, I have three young babies. I got an older one, 25, 24, but then I got three young ones. One is 5, and I got 7 twins, boy and girl. That's 3. They about to be 4 in July.
Nice, man.
So you think about 3 diapers, 3 kids in diapers, crying, all that. But mama ain't. Once I'm done working and I come home, mama said, "You are home." You got these babies. They need to eat. They need diapers.
You
So
get time to be fooling around with these
right.
comments.
And in the beginning, I tried because that's what they say. You gotta talk to the people. So I was trying to do that, and she's like, "What you doing? What you doing?" So I just never had that time to do it. So I just started post and go, basically, and the people start talking. You got to have thick skin. Sometimes you go in there and read stuff and then get you going and stuff like that. And I did that early on, but then I kind of stopped, and now I let the people talk. You know, they start talking, and somebody else start talking, and they arguing back and forth, whatever. So yeah, and I learned that what's that, interactions, whatever, what they call it, whatever, interactions. But
Engagement.
yeah,
Engagement. Yeah,
engagement.
yeah.
So the more they do, the more push the video out. So yeah,
Yeah.
keep
Yeah.
talking.
I love it when people get in arguments with each other on there.
Right, right,
Great. When I don't even have to do the work, they just argue with each other.
You just have to say the
exactly.
word
Fantastic.
sigh. It's
Don't even start.
no, yeah. Well,
Hey,
actually, no. That's another question that I want to ask both of you guys because Preston Kincaid posted something. It was kind of 6 steps that content creators or aspiring content creators need to take as home inspectors. And one of them, I find this to be very controversial. It works for him. It works for certain other individuals that we will or will not name on the show here. But he definitely espouses the always have a villain in your videos approach. Whether it be the builder or the homeowner there's always somebody who's the bad guy, and I don't know that I agree with that. Just because I'm here to be helpful. I'm not here. I feel like that only pushes the deal killer narrative. But what's y'all's take on it?
well, I think do you.
Yeah.
If that works for Preston to have a villain in his videos, and let me tell you, brother, it works for him
Oh
on
yeah.
TikTok. It works very well for him on TikTok.
Oh,
And so, I mean, he should do that, right?
Right.
I don't do that, but I do a variety of different things. And so, there's definitely some villains in some of my videos, but I wouldn't say that I make that a habit.
right.
What about you, Trey?
No, I don't. I'm kind of a happy, fun inspector type when I do my videos. Like during inspections, I'm boring. Okay, just be truthful. You quiet and you just looking and stuff. But my most the best part of the day is actually me shooting video. So I actually enjoy it. And so I try to bring some life into it and try to be funny. If I see something funny about it, I want to put that in there. So I'm just more so on that side. But I'm like Matt, whatever works for you work. Of course, you got all these different kind of movies. You got scary movies, you got happy movies, you got comedy.
But for everybody.
Everybody watching them. So, and it kind of like I said, social media is like TV on your phone. So whoever, whatever people like, that's what they're gonna go to.
My assessment of your content, man, is like you're not making a villain out of anybody. You're just an advocate for the people.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's it. Like, he's gonna say, hey, get it inspected because they'll leave your house like this, but he's not saying not speaking specifically to any builder or saying, anything necessarily bad about the builder or
Right.
nothing like that. Just, get it inspected. Let me help you. Let us
Yeah.
help you. And so you've been an advocate for the people. You've been an advocate for the industry of home inspection and, the stuff that you put out there, the stuff I put out there. I mean, if we're just increasing awareness to people to get home inspections, like I feel like we're doing our job. That's what it was for. Even if you don't call me, man, call Trey, call somebody.
Call
Get an
somebody.
inspection.
Get some
You
help.
know, it,
Somebody.
get it looked at. And the thing is, you know, we yeah. Do I want you to call me? Do I want you to call? Yeah. I mean, of course. But I can't help everybody. I can't help everybody here. And my
Nope.
reach, your reach is, nationwide at the minimum. I mean, we can reach people all the way across the U.S. and further. And so, why not be an advocate for the industry itself?
Yeah.
And that's where I feel like Trey's like position really is. Like, at least that's the impression that I get. He's not making a villain out of anybody. But I mean, like some people do that, like you said, and it is very successful for some people. But I think the biggest thing when it comes to creating content is to be yourself. Like you got to be true to yourself, because if you're not true to yourself, then it's going to show, and people are not going to think it's authentic. They're not going to like your content. And if being true to yourself means having a villain in your videos, like for Preston, then that works. That's the reason why it works for him.
Oh yeah.
That doesn't make him a villain. He's just a different personality.
Yeah. Everybody got their thing. Like he's able to do long videos. I mean, long. I was like, wow. You know.
Yeah.
you know he can do it and like tell the story, whatever. But whatever. I think you, like you said, find what works for you and be yourself. After all the like from beginning of starting content to now, I think the whole thing was learn how to press record and be yourself.
Mhm.
That's the challenge. A lot of people press record and they change.
Yeah.
Change who they are.
Well,
So
that's what we used to do,
oh yeah.
right?
And
We had to figure out that it's actually okay to just be yourself. You got to
yeah,
kind of find that
yeah.
little groove.
Right. It comes with reps, repetition. Keep doing it, keep doing it. Now press record is nothing. It's part of your day. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's really what my thing is. Again, going back to being new on social media, I said nobody want to see a commercial. I think a lot of people. I'm an '80s baby, so a lot of people looked at it and take it that way when they said we'll put business on social media, and they like let me talk about my company, let me sell and it's a commercial. And my name is Trey Hill. I'm in CoStar Specs. You need inspection? Call 832. It's a commercial. And like, what do we do on YouTube when ads come on? Soon as
Yep.
they skip,
Yep.
you be waiting 5, 4, 3, 2. So nobody wants to see a commercial. So even on that side of content, polished content, okay, there's a place for it, and there's a place where it's really so you sometimes when you're looking at a video and it looks too polished, it looks like a commercial. So you're like next. So I try to be genuine and clear cut on that, but yeah, I'm not. I mean, that's basically what it is. You want to? I'm not trying to do a commercial, and a lot of times I don't even say get an inspection. You need inspection. But I go another route, so I might say, yeah, you don't need an inspection, but you're gonna need a plumber, or you're gonna need somebody to figure out where this mold's gonna come from. You don't need an inspection.
I had somebody get so mad at me one time because I started out a video and I said 4 reasons why you should not get a pre-drywall inspection. right? And like I ended the video saying, you know, so this is the reasons why you shouldn't get a pre-drywall inspection. Save your money because you're going to need it when all this water comes in your house.
Right.
One guy got so mad at me because, and I guess he didn't watch it to the end, but he was like, I like all your stuff, but you saying 4 reasons why you shouldn't get an inspection? And I'm like, bro,
Right.
it's
They
sarcasm,
didn't
man. I'm
watch though.
sorry. You didn't get the
Right.
That's
yeah,
genius.
I mean,
That's a hook that gets them to watch. Especially like save that kind of like shock jock stuff for like when you start to see the numbers dip a little bit. Just throw something like that out there where they're just like, wait, what?
Right.
It's yeah, it gets their attention.
I feel like we had to touch on something here. We were talking about challenges that we face as content creating inspectors, right?
Uh-huh.
And I think, one challenge is, social media is always changing.
Oh yeah.
One platform might die completely. So if you don't like have your hands in all of them, like, at some point, like I was really late to the TikTok game, and thankfully, I've had a couple of videos do pretty well in the last couple of weeks. I had one just last week that popped off, and so I'm finally actually starting to get some traction on there. But it's taken like 3 years. Like
Mm.
I thought my following from Instagram would just allow my TikTok account. Whenever I first started, I did this intro video. Trey was in it, man. I did this
Oh,
intro video with Trey and some other friends, and it was like, hey, I'm on TikTok, and like nothing, man, like nothing happened. It was the slowest moving platform that I've, at least since I had a following that I've dealt with. And so I didn't know what to make of that, but it's taken a long time. But I finally started to figure it out. I'm starting to get some things going. So things are constantly changing, and they constantly change the rules and the algorithm. I mean, lately, Texas Edge has been dropping followers, and that seems to be happening to a lot of folks I know as well with larger accounts. And so, I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, I'm blessed to have what I have, but the thing is like that could disappear at any moment, and that's really where I'm getting at because Trey had a very substantial Facebook account. Facebook was one of those things I ignored for years. And then a couple of years ago, I started to put a little bit of effort into it by the advice of somebody that said, hey, it's actually, there's a lot of movement over there. And I did. And an account that stayed stagnant for years, I put a little bit of effort into it and it just popped off and it went up, and now it's kind of leveled out at this point. But it's pretty large. You
mhm.
had a large a Facebook account. Something happened.
Oh yeah. Somebody decided to hack up in there. They said Trey don't need all these followers. I need them, and they took all my followers. So,
So
um,
what happened there?
we had got up to 300,000 followers,
Man.
and it actually was somebody was I think it was somebody was trying to get into. Well, they came over basically saying that we trying to do an interview and stuff like that, and some kind of way they got in there and just took the followers.
So your followers just disappeared.
Yeah, it just disappeared. Like,
Were you able to rebuild? I mean, I know you're working on rebuilding, but how successful has that been so far? Or is it just as have the previous audience been able to find you on the new account? Or
so that's the deal. Like, how you gonna say
Yeah.
here I am when you don't have nothing? And then so I was late to Facebook. I never had a Facebook account, whatever. I didn't do Facebook, so I was late. That was my last one, and I said, and the same thing. It kind of blew up quicker than what I expected. But on Facebook, there's a bunch of accounts that like was steal. Like out of all the platforms, Facebook got the most accounts that would steal your content and post it. And somebody got a page said that ain't right, and they post all my videos.
I report them. Whenever I see them, I report them.
I
yeah,
report it. I don't see nothing happening. Like and a lot of mine on the old account, a lot of people report all kind of accounts, and they nothing happened. So I don't know what's going on that front, like on Facebook, as far as them securing and making sure that stuff stays, legit. But I don't think they're doing a good job.
Is your new one starting to grow a little bit? I know you'd seen a
It's,
little.
yes, Brad did a video and that put some gas in it for a little
I,
bit.
I, think he I think he means Matt. Brad didn't even know who you
My
were.
bad, my bad. My bad.
I was trying to think. I was like, did I? What did I?
But
Well,
you didn't, dude. You didn't.
but we will
But
tag you
yeah,
in this
Trey,
one.
Trey,
Yeah, yeah,
Trey.
yeah.
We try to help each other out, right? Trey did a video to kind of send some people over to my YouTube page, and I did the same for him over on Facebook. And man, like the people, like it's so funny because most of the time I just get people saying, "Hey, you ripped off Trey," but like whenever Trey's like, "Hey, go check out Matt," and I'm like, "Hey, go check out Trey," like the people were so kind. And they
Mhm.
made sure to know, like, "Hey, Trey sent me here. Gold Star sent me here. You
Mhm.
know, I'm a new subscriber. You know, looking forward to all this stuff." It was
Right.
so nice. It was really refreshing. It was really cool, and I saw a pretty substantial jump, like a noticeable jump on
Mhm.
YouTube within a few days of that. So, man, I really appreciate that.
Yeah, no, appreciate it too, man.
No, well, I appreciate you coming on the show for sure, Trey. Where can everybody follow you? I mean, drop your handle here for each platform that you're on, so we can help you at least rebuild a little bit of that Facebook page.
So if you want the real Trey Gold Star inspections, all of them are the same. It's gold.star.inspections. All of them. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, it's the same word. Gold.star.inspections. If it's something else, that ain't right.
I love it. I love it.
Great.
Well, dude, Trey, thanks so much for coming on the show. And thank you, everybody, for watching. Go follow Trey. Go sign up for Inspection Fuel. And we'll see you next time right here on
Right along.
He Got It.